The main reason why, for the past couple of years, Stephen and his family have escaped the rat race for the peace and serenity of this little slice of heaven, just an hour north of Melbourne.
It's very relaxing up here, especially after a tough day at the office, so it's great to come back here and relax. I elected to have a bit of lifestyle, and you know, so far it's been great. I think it's just what I needed, and especially now after racing every day, when you do get a day off, you can enjoy it up here.
Former jockeys too, like Stephen's father, Albie, can appreciate the tranquility of the farm, which is home for around 30 head of cattle. Oh, and one rather temperamental koala.
He's very unhappy and very grumpy. He's good while he's asleep, but if you make a noise, he starts letting you know he's not happy about it.
Oh, and don't bother looking for any horses.
I had one horse, but I refused to ride it, so I had to get rid of him. Yeah, I suppose it's like the old painter needs his house painted, I suppose.
The Boston Melbourne Cup belongs to the mare. Metzalite bolts the cup in, wins by 3 lengths, then it's a Cummings Quinella.
In 1991, on his 22nd birthday, Stephen King stood on the top of the mountain. 6 years on, he's a different rider. He's a different man.
Now I'm a lot more mature, and I think I'd love to have the opportunity again to get on a horse like her.
Perhaps it was that newfound maturity that helped him win the Scobie Breesley Medal for the best rider in Victoria last season.
I was just absolutely rapt to win it, and as I said to my wife Leanne, it certainly will be one of my goals. It was something I'm going to cherish for a long time. You know?
For the time being, Stephen King has his hands full with race riding and other little matters. But he also has his haven, and he's likely to have it forever.
I haven't quite thought about what I'm going to do after racing, but certainly love it up here, and it's somewhere I'd love to keep.
Yes, Stephen King is a lovely bloke too. It is Oaks Day, 1997 at magnificent Flemington. A warm one, countdown to the Oaks, 21 minutes and 24 seconds. And you can't get anybody to tip against Kensington Palace today. And that's probably as it should be. Now, next to me is a fella, is this Cup Week number 30 or 29?
24.
24?
24.
Oh, you've got a few to go to.
24, it's actually the 25th, but I went to one in the 70s, so yeah, 24.
Yeah. Now, Richard Holden is this man's name, many-faceted man too, former CEO of Carlton United.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Designer, milliner too, but that's really not what you're here for this year. You're writing on tourism.
Yes, I'm here for a magazine called Destinations, and I'm doing a story on the fashions in the field and a story about Melbourne at Cup time.
What did you think of fashions on the field this year?
I thought the standard was very high, particularly today.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about it today was there's a lot of colour. The last few years there hasn't been a lot of colour.
Do you think that coincides with the mood around a state? I mean, Victoria, as we all know, a few years ago, wasn't travelling all that well. Now it's very buoyant. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, there's an ambience. We've been taken around by the Victorian tourist people, and everywhere you go there's lots of roses and lots of rhododendrons, and there's ambience in the air. And there's a feeling of, yeah, just
look at that
now.
There's some ambience there.
Yeah, but it is. There's a real feeling, this cup, and as I say, I've been to many cups, of goodwill and good spirit. And
if you were writing in a magazine like Destinations and suggesting to people that they come to Melbourne for this Cup Week, which of course they should do.
Which is what I'm doing.
Yeah. What would you say to them?
Well, the first thing I'd say to them is come knowing you're going to have a good time and plan to have a good time. If you come to Cup Week, you need to plan what you're going to do in advance, because there are so many things to do that if you just sail by the seat of your pants, you're going to miss out on a lot of good times.
Yes, you certainly are. And it's 4 really very different days in the Spring Carnival Week. Derby Day, Cup Day, Oaks Day and Stakes Day. They're very different in style and just about everything.
They're different in every way. The people dress differently. There's a different flower for every day. I've gone right into that. But every day has its own personality. I think that's the way to put it. And today is the ladies' day. It's the day of colour and fashion and fun.
Can you put your finger on it? I mean, I've been to a few myself now. I think this is my 9th. Can you put your finger on what it is? I mean, we've had 65,000 people here on Derby Day, 95,000 on Cup Day, and I'd suggest, and you've been out there too, there's probably close to 90,000 here today. What brings them? What is it?
I know what brings them. It's the occasion. You know, the Cup Week is an occasion, and inside that occasion there are a series of occasions. So, as you say, each day has its own personality, but each day has its own occasion, and that's what brings people. People come to occasion.
Yeah. How do you think about when... Did you, by the way, design anything for this week, or are you just here writing?
I'm having a bit of a watershed year.
Are you?
Yeah, I got into the last 5 on Derby Day. I had a model in on Cup Day, but they put the fashions forward now, so we were late and didn't get in. And I got into the finals today, but no, I haven't got any prizes to take home this year.
But the amount of times you've won or placed in fashions on the field, I mean, there's far too many for me to mention. I've got the list there, but it goes back years.
I won one of the major 2 prizes for the carnival 6 out of the last 7 years, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
So we're going to take a break this year.
Is there anything, do you think, certainly from New Zealand's point of view or Australia's point of view, that even compares with this week? Really?
No, I don't. I've been to a lot of the big meetings in Royal Ascot and places like that. The Melbourne Cup week has its own particular personality. It's the only way to describe it.
It is, isn't it?
And you get into the town, there's this feeling of excitement and goodwill, and there's, you know, having been to so many, I choose different things to go to most years, but I don't think there's a comparison. It's a unique event.
And everywhere you go, there's a breakfast, there's a lunch, there's a dinner at a major hotel somewhere. The casino's full of people. It's just a buzz to be here.
It's a great week for the champagne manufacturer.
Peter Donington was saying he'd love the franchise just for today. You could probably retire to the Bahamas.
Oh, fantastic. And there was a lovely shot in the Herald Sun with the ladies standing there with their legs and all the champagne bottles. It was a great shot. Yeah, it was great.
Thanks very much for coming in to see us, Richard Holden, and enjoy the rest of your Cup week. I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
Stay there for a second. We'll take a break, and horses are in the parade ring for the Crown Oaks. That can't be far away at all. And there is the shot from the Whitman's lightship of this magnificent racetrack on this greatest of days. Well, second greatest to the Cup, the Oaks Day. And there's the lightship itself. Indeed, it is the Melbourne Cup Carnival, the 3rd day. It's very hard to get that race out of your mind, that Melbourne Cup. What an absolutely stunning finish. But into our minds now comes the Crown Oaks from fabulous Flemington in Victoria. A magnificent crowd. Little clouds started to build up, but I think that'll probably stay away for the remainder of the day. And I've actually tried to word up most of the people who work here at Flemington not to let this man in anywhere. Obviously hasn't got through, because now they've even let Tim Bailey into the mounting yard. What are you doing?
Ah, dear, you're full of cheek, Webster, aren't you? I look forward to it every year. Look, we're doing a weather update for you, because basically I got it wrong the first time. We went for fine in 27. It was certainly that. In fact, the temperature has climbed well over the 30-degree mark, so it's very humid and hot here. There is a chance of a late shower and maybe a thunderstorm. That is the updated forecast from Flemington. Maybe a thunderstorm late this afternoon. Very warm here and magnificent down in the mounting yard as we prepare ourselves for the Oaks, the feature race of the day.
Thank you, Timothy. We just hope that that storm comes very late, and it does appear to be building up a little bit out there now. All right, let's go down to Peter and Jenny and talk about the Crown Oaks. And Pete, very hard to find anybody who doesn't want to back Kensington Palace.
That's exactly right, and for good reason, Tim, because she is the form horse coming into the race. But the one thing is, if you're backing these fillies on looks, you can have something on every one of them. They all look superb. None better than Kensington Palace. But first of all, Jen, let's have a look at Lady of the Pines. Peter Hayes is the trainer, Darren Beedman the rider, and what a remarkable training performance this would be if Lady of the Pines was to win.
It sure would. Her last run was over the 1600 in which she won. That was 1,000 guineas, and she got back on that occasion. She ran on. She was too strong for her opposition there. I've got a little distance query about her, but she's very, very honest, and she's in good hands with Peter Hayes, so can't write her off completely, that's for sure.
Speaking of being in good hands, look at this little lady, number 2, Kensington Palace, trained by Lee Freedman to be ridden by Damien Oliver, and she's been crying out for the Oaks distance of 2,500 metres. She's a short price favourite, and I think deservedly so.
Yes, Peter, she's really come into this race fully fit, and her win on Saturday in the Wakeful was an excellent performance. She'll relish this distance, there's no doubt about that. She's quite short on the tote, reading at about 2.9, but she's going to be very, very hard to beat.
One trained by Clary Connors, number 3, Only a Lady. Grant Cooksley is the rider here, drawn in the middle of the field in gate number 10. 7th in the 1,000 guineas behind Lady of the Pines. Thought she was just giving a little ground at the end on Saturday, Jen, but I think she was probably being eased down more than anything.
Well, the thing about her, Peter, she did carry 57 kilos on Saturday. She did have every chance, but today it's set weight, so that's going to help her a little bit. And she wasn't beaten all that far. My little query with her is, of course, the distance, whether or not she can run it out strongly. So a place chance for Only a Lady.
Stay Lucky, number 4, round about the $38 mark on the tote. And in my humble opinion, this filly to be ridden by Mick Dittman was not the worst in the Wakeful the other day.
Not at all. She was actually running on quite okay, contrary to how she's bred. She's by a rancher, and you wouldn't expect her to want this distance. But my query with her is the fact that she just might need the sting out of the track to produce her best.
Snarday, number 5, trained by Bobby Thompson, ridden by Shane Dye, was ridden up near the lead the other day. Would she be better suited being ridden back?
Yes, definitely. You go back 2 and 3 starts ago for her when she was ridden back, and they were good runs. She managed to make quite a deal of ground. I think if that happens here, you've got Shane Dye on board, a very experienced and good jockey. If he does that, and I think that's how they'll want to ride her here, she's probably there with a place chance in the race.
Jennifer, I like the effort of Kilmore Key the other day. Greg Childs, she was doing her best work at the end of the 2,000. Distance shouldn't be a problem.
She really did catch the eye, didn't she? And she comes into this race. I know John Miller's got a very good opinion of this filly. Definitely one of the main chances in this race.
Brent Thompson rides number 7, Fuss, for David Noonan at Mornington, 3rd in the Oaks trial at Geelong.
Was well ridden, given every possible chance in the Geelong Oaks trial, I thought. That's over 2,200 metres, of course. I just doubt that it's any easier for her here, so I doubt if she's quite up to them.
Now, here's the one you've gone for, number 8, Regal Sachet, the master, Bart Cummings. Can he take out his 8th Oaks Stakes? Stephen King is the rider. She's got a bad gate, though.
Yes, she has, but, well, she hasn't had much luck with the gates either. This horse, she should get back in the race. I thought her effort on Saturday was very, very good. There you can see Bart on screen. I thought when she was trying to make a run, it closed on her. She didn't have a great deal of luck. She really did catch the eye. And coming into this race, of course, with the master trainer and Stephen King to ride, she must have a very good chance.
Since winning the Epsom with Iron Horse, Gay Waterhouse hasn't had a great trot this spring, but it might all change with Zashaline, number 9, Jimmy Cassidy, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey.
Now, her run was very, very good on Saturday. She was 3 wide the entire way. She was very wide turning for home. And as we remember, the track wasn't all that good out there on that particular day. So forgive her for that. She was still going okay, and I think she's there with a chance.
Massawa, number 10, is another of Bart Cummings' runners. Brian York takes the ride here. Finished 9th in the Wakeful. Wasn't the worst run in the race.
No, it wasn't. Didn't have a great deal of luck at the top of the turn there into the straight. She did win the Geelong Oaks trial prior to that, and she's probably there with some rough place chance in the race.
What about the Kiwi, Jen? Is it the Smoky? Vinnie Colgan riding number 11, Bella Astata.
We've seen many Smoky New Zealanders come over and get away with our Oaks as well. Possibly, Peter. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Been racing in fairly good races over in New Zealand and does warrant some respect, so certainly keep an eye on the betting there.
You give the John Hawkes trained Tropic a bit of a chance with Darren Gauci aboard?
Yes, got a mile back and was checked on the turn and ran home okay in the Wakeful. I think the distance is going to suit Tropic, and she's at pretty big odds. I think she's a good rough chance.
Alamonte, number 13, Danny Nicolig, is she outclassed?
Well, yes, she led in the Wakeful and she weakened badly. I don't know that she'll be able to settle over this distance, and she's a maiden going into this race, so really it's hard to have her.
14, Truly Believe, Neville Wilson aboard, is big odds.
Yes, and no real excuses for her at Geelong when she ran in the Oaks trial there. Another horse that's a maiden going into this race, and I think she needs it a bit easier.
And 15, Premium Blend down the bottom, Larry Cassidy, the rider, and she too is flying a bit high, I think, here.
I think so. On her Geelong Oaks trial there, Peter, she was in the race for a while, but really it's hard to recommend her. She finished 8th there, and there is much better form in this race than hers.
Well, Jennifer, this is the big one for the fillies. What are your selections?
I'm going with Regal Sachet, number 8, from number 2, Kensington Palace, and number 6, Kilmore Key.
For me, Kensington Palace only narrowly the top pick in front of Regal Sachet and Kilmore Key. Zashaline the outsider. Dan, what have tote punters been doing in the last 20 minutes or so?
Right, Pete. Well, Kensington Palace is still a very firm favourite at $2.70. Lady of the Pines in the market, $8.40. $12 only a lady. Stay Lucky and Snardame, 2 of the Sydney fillies at big odds. $5.30 for the New Zealander Kilmore Key. $42 for Fuss. $6.70 for Regal Sachet. Zashaline at $11. $20 for Massawa. $63 for the other New Zealander Bella Estata. $40 Tropic, and huge odds for the bottom 3, Alamonte, Truly Believe, and Premium Blend. That's the look down the tote for the Crown Oaks. Runners are going onto the track, start time 5 minutes away. Let's join up with Tim Gossage in the betting ring.
Kensington Palace has been the standout favourite right through betting, drifted slightly but has now tightened right up and is the pronounced favourite in the ring. Not a great deal of money for Kilmore Key and Regal Sachet. They are at each way odds, but there is money at double figures for Zashaline. It's in a couple of points. Now it's equal to what it should be on the tote, but the punters believe it's all Kensington Palace.
Thank you to Tim Gossage in the betting ring. As far as this race is concerned, they start at the 2,500, which is the 200-metre mark in the home straight. Outside barriers a distinct disadvantage here, and then they'll make the long run along the riverside. The tips from the panel for race 5, the Crown Oaks, brought to you by Foster's, and we'll be having a drop of that if Kensington Palace wins. That's Richard Friedman, Johnny Letts and myself, and Jennifer has gone for Regal Sachet number 8. It's a $500,000 race, and they're racing for a beautiful trophy in the Oaks Stakes, and they'll be doing that very shortly. There it is, one of the nicest trophies in racing, and the 3-year-old fillies are about to run for it. We'll take a break on Network 10 and return to Flemington to watch them do just that. Unquestionably one of the great sights in Australian racing. The classic races for the 3-year-olds, the Derby and the Oaks. They start in front of what is always a packed grandstand. No more packed ever, I think, before on Oaks Day than it is today for the great race for the fillies. And just before they move in, Roy Higgins has joined me, and I thought the favourite Roy looked absolutely outstanding.
Yes, Pete, she's bred to be a champion. She's bred to be a stayer. She is. She looked excellent in the yard. The lead-ups have been spot on. It was difficult to go past her, actually, out of the yard. That's how she really did stand out. I thought the other, only a lady, this filly's by Sir Tristram. Naturally, she's going to get the distance, although at the finish she did start to sweat up, but I thought her run was the other day was very good. She does look very well. Lady of the Pines, now this filly looked outstanding in the ring. Just whether or not she can run the 2.5 is the question mark, and the one that will run the distance is the one of Gay Waterhouse's Zadalin. She did look well here today. So for the Oaks, I went 2, 3, 1 and 9.
The man who won the Oaks first of all in 1964 aboard your favourite, Light Fingers Roy. Can you remember back to that day?
I'll never forget that day, Pete. Finished up winning 5 of them, so it was a great race for me. Had a great affinity with the females, you know that?
Yes, and the horses as well too, Roy. Roy Higgins with us, and also joining us with his thoughts is Caulfield Cup winning jockey Peter Hutchinson. Nice to see you. It's a great day, great atmosphere, and a great race coming up.
Fantastic, Pete. I've never seen so many legs as not a bow tendon in sight.
What did you make of them here, Hutchie?
Oh, as the favourite Kensington Palace does look to have the race in a grasp. Barrier 7, the perfect barrier for the 2,500-metre start here. Damien can take his time to get across and get her into the perfect posse. I think she should win. Regal Sachet is going to be the interesting one. Whether she can get a good run from the wide barrier. She drops back a bit, but in last start she ran into more behinds than the Gay Mardi Gras. Today, if she gets a bit of luck, she could give them a run for the money.
Peter Hutchinson has obviously been rehearsing his lines. Well done, Hutchie. So there are his thoughts. Let's get the thoughts of Greg Childs. He's riding the Kiwi here in Kilmore Key. Let's see what he thought about the Crown Oaks.
Gee, Kilmore Key was a great run last start.
Yeah, it was. The 2,000 metres on the first day got to the line very strongly. Shouldn't have too much concern with the 2,500. It's just the opposition we're concerned about. Some of them are pretty strong.
Pretty good draw in 5.
Nice draw. Hope to get across close to the rail early and track up something that can bring me into the race.
There They're at the gates and about to move in. In fact, they are coming up. There are no scratchings. There are 16 horses out behind the gates, 15 Oaks fillies. And Johnny Letts on banjo. What did you make of them, Lettsy?
I like the look of the two horse. She looks very well, Kensington Palace, fellas. She's very relaxed. I don't think that the weather's affected her at all. Lady of the Pines looked good. And also a horse that I did hear a good judge mention was Bella Estrata. And it might run a race. It looks okay.
Gary Willits, I'm sure you'd agree the favourite looks magnificent.
Yes, I'd like to wish David and Helen Haynes all the best. One of the nicest owners I rode for. I had a lot of winners for them.
Spirit of Kingston was one of them. She won an Oaks.
Yes. Rosa Kingston was great.
With Gary Willits in the saddle. Regal Sachet goes up. The fillies are ready to go for the Crown Oaks of 1997. 2,500 metres. Group 1 for 3-year-old fillies. Regal Sachet on the toe. She's drawn the outside gate, very fidgety. All of the runners are locked away, though. Light still flashing away. Now they look to be settled. Already, all clear given. Only a lady on the toe now. It settles, racing in the Oaks. They're off. Snar Dame snagged out to the tail. Lady of the Pines and Kilmore Key, two of the best out. Only a lady goes forward, and likewise was Kensington Palace. So 4 of the favourites are up there. Zashaline's 3 deep. Stay Lucky is running 6th at the moment, but 1 off the fence. And then came Fuss on the inside of Bella Estrata. Premium Blend was wide out of the straight. They were followed by Regal Sachet from Alamonte. Truly Believers 4th last around Massawa. And then Tropic and Snar Dame had been dropped back to the tail of the field. It's about 10 or 12 off the lead. They've got 2,000 metres to go, and Lady of the Pines is the leader. Lady of the Pines 2.5 lengths to only a lady. Half a length away third was Zashaline. It's 3 wide, but going forward, so it can get 1 off the fence now. Kensington Palace was 4th, and Kilmore Key was 5th on the inside of Stay Lucky. Next the rails was Fuss in the fluorescent lime green colours. Around it was Premium Blend, and then Regal Sachet on the inside of Bella Estrata. 2 lengths to Alamonte, a length away Massawa, third last Truly Believe. Then Snar Dame and 3/4 back to Tropic at the tail. Inside the 1600 they head, and Lady of the Pines is the leader by a length. Running second was Zashaline. Third the inside was Only a Lady, getting good cover now. Kensington Palace in a lovely spot, the favourite 4th. Kilmore Key 5th on the inside of Stay Lucky, and then came Fuss, who's 7th to rails. A half a length away Premium Blend. A length back on the rails was Regal Sachet. Around it was the New Zealand filly Bella Estrata. 2 lengths away then to Massawa, who's back 5th last on the inside of Alamonte. 2 lengths away Snar Dame on the inside of Truly Believe, and 1.5 away last was Tropic, about 12 or 14 lengths off the lead. Past the Crown Sign and the Crown Oaks, and Lady of the Pines at the 1,000 leads a half a length. Zashaline was second. Only a Lady was third. Kensington Palace 4th. 1 length away Kilmore Key, 5th on the inside of Stay Lucky. Alamonte pulled 3 wide to go around Premium Blend and Fuss on the fence, and then Bella Estrata. Tropic starting a run. Regal Sachet next from the stablemate Massawa. Snar Dame second last, and Truly Believe at the rear as they start to bunch up. Rounding the turn now, 600 metres left to travel. Lady of the Pines in front from Zashaline. Kensington Palace taken 3 out. Only a Lady's back on the rails 4th. Alamonte running on wide, so too Tropic, then Massawa, Stay Lucky and Kilmore Key. End of the straight, they flatten out at the 400. Only a Lady getting a Dream Rails run to go up and challenge Lady of the Pines, and here's Kensington Palace. The favourite swept on the lead, Kensington Palace from Only a Lady. Then Zashaline, Lady of the Pines and Kilmore Key. Kensington Palace drew a length in front. Only a Lady can't match it. Kensington Palace has the Oaks one for Lee Friedman and Damien Oliver. The favourite does it again. Kensington Palace first from Only a Lady and Kilmore Key, which rattled home. Not far away in 4th position was Zashaline. Then Regal Sachet and Fuss. Next home Lady of the Pines and Premium Blend. Then Stay Lucky and Tropic. Alamonte, Snar Dame, and then Massawa, Bella Estrata and Truly Believe at the rear.
Well, a beautiful ride, Dan. He just put her in the box seat all the way, and really, you really had no worries if you back Kensington Palace. It was a beautiful ride by Damien Oliver. It's only a Lady got a beautiful run through. I thought she was going to make a race of it, but just too good.
Number 3 is second after the photo, and 6 is third. So 2, 3 and 6 are official.
And I noticed Regal Sachet got just missed a jump a bit, then Stephen King dropped her across the back of him. But here's Kensington Palace, Only a Lady inside of it. And from this point on, Damien just said, let's go home, girl. Just beautiful. Only a Lady tried to kick back, but she's just too good. Like, I think this time next year, Dan, you'll be calling her running in the Caulfield Cup or Melbourne Cup. She's outstanding staying filly. And the one right on the outside is the New Zealander, Kilmore Key.
Gee,
got
speaking
very
of
well.
running in the Melbourne Cup next year, if there was a race that would suit her, the way she got to the line would be a 2-mile race, Gary.
But look at the way, yeah, you're right, Dan, but look at the way that's gone to the line. Just beautiful. A beautiful ride. Now here we are, you watch Regal Sachet right on the outside here. Just as the gates open, she's gone up in the air and she's missed it. See that there? Now Stephen King didn't panic, he just went straight across the back and he actually got quite a good run on her.
Lee Friedman, the winning trainer, who's won this race before, but a race he set for Kensington Palace about 7 or 8 months ago, Pete.
Yes, and I think Lee's got a pretty satisfied smile on his face. I suppose it has been a long wait because the anticipation has been that filly would win the Oaks for a long time.
Yeah, it's been like waiting for Christmas when you're 3 years old, isn't it? You know, it's it's been one of those horses that everyone's had down to win the Oaks, but you never win it until you've won it. I know it sounds flippant, but, you know, I was never confident until she struck the front, and she's got that great turn of foot and went away from that was it.
Looking at her in the yard, you couldn't have had her any better today.
No, she's done very well since the Wakeful. We had a pretty incident-free week, and she came here very fit today, and I thought she won well, very well.
If it had been a harness race, D. Oliver 1 out, 1 back in the perfect spot.
I thought it was Vinnie Knight come back again. It was a tremendous ride. I think when you draw a good gate and you're on a good filly and you know the pace isn't going to be a cracker, you should have him in a striking spot all the way, and he knew that. It was very similar, actually, to his ride on Northwood Plume.
Finally, it's been a frustrating carnival for you in a lot of ways, a lot of seconds. Nice to be in the winner's circle.
I'll never forget the one Tuesday, but this has helped a bit.
Good on you, Lee. Well done.
Thank you.
Lee Friedman, the winning trainer, and here is D. Oliver, the winning rider after that 10 out of 10 ride. Let's see in the Oaks.
Damien, a lovely ride, but you told us on Tuesday, after she won the Wakefield all last Saturday, that she would be very hard to beat in the Oaks, and you thought she could win the Melbourne Cup next year. Well, you're halfway there, mate.
Oh, you might be going a bit early yet, let's see, but she does stay well. And,
you had a nice run.
Yeah, she's a perfect ride. She just goes to sleep for you, and when you ask her to quicken, she really accelerates.
How'd you feel when you went down past the 300? You just cruised to them.
I was quietly confident then. Yeah, I'd spent nothing through the run, and she really kicked strongly for me.
Damien, the horse deserved the win, and you deserved the win. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, mate.
A second Oaks victory for trainer Lee Friedman, and Damien Oliver riding the perfect race aboard that filly. She is not very big, but she's got a big motor. How many times have we seen those famous colours come down the straight at Flemington? We saw them come down some 15 years ago in second placing in the Melbourne Cup. That was one of the biggest disappointments for owner David Haynes. But last year those colours came down after the Derby. This year they come down after the 3-year-old Fillies Classic. And it's Kensington Palace. She may very well graduate to be a Cups horse in 12 months' time. We might be hearing more of that name. Kensington Palace the winner, the second place getter, number 3, and that was Only a Lady, just holding on from the fast finishing Kilmore Key. And the time for the journey, 2 minutes, 41.3 seconds. I think Damien Oliver's got a fair bit of satisfaction out of this win. There's been a lot of pressure on the young man because, as I said to Lee Friedman, this horse was anointed the Oaks winner some 6 or 7 weeks ago by good judges. And so, really, he was on a kick up the backside to nothing. And he's ridden her absolutely perfectly. That's why he is the premier jockey in Australia. He is just terrific. There are names such as Dye and Didman, and people will argue cases for them. In my humble opinion, this bloke is the best, D. Oliver. And he's ridden Kensington Palace beautifully. There's Kathy Haynes leading this little filly in. There'll be plenty of celebrations for the connections tonight. Also for the connections of Only a Lady and Kilmore Key, who battled on bravely. Zashaline ran very well for Gay Waterhouse in 4th placing, and Regal Sachet for Bart Cummings 5th. But the best filly